la la la.
Oh, coming back. Oh,
Yeah.
the cream of the crop. The
Ooh,
kitty
yeah.
cat.
Ooh, yeah. What you get?
2 guys, 1 belt.
2 guys, 1 belt. 2 guys, 1 belt.
2G1B, 2G1B. So we got a different sort of style episode. We got 2 pretty heavy nights of WWE programming, 6 hours in total.
But anyways, we're going to go over what happened the past 2 nights, just the main points.
Yeah,
so this
we're
won't
gonna
be a terribly long video.
Break it down by what's WrestleMania is looking like. Because that's what it's sort of been the past 2 nights. It's just pretty much build up to WrestleMania. That's what it felt like.
The big main event of FastLane was to determine who would face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns beat Daniel Bryan clean. As
Which
clean as
surprised
clean
me.
can get.
I was definitely surprised Brock didn't come out. But now the main event is set in stone for WrestleMania 31. Monday night in FastLane. What did you think of Roman Reigns and his performance at FastLane, and then what he was able to do last night on Raw?
FastLane, I felt like it was a pretty good match. And it was a well-deserved match. But then I think Monday they kind of killed it with all the Roman Reigns appreciation they really did.
Oh, it was overdone.
Yeah.
It was overdone. I did also enjoy the match. Roman Reigns' first pay-per-view main event. He came to the plate. He didn't blow my mind by any means, but he came up, stepped up to the plate, did some good things. With that being said, the next night on Raw, they go and Daniel Bryan puts him over. Kind of.
So does Paul Heyman, kind of.
Paul Heyman even kind of put him over. What happened was Daniel came out and said that, this, I'm better than this at you. I have this, I have this, I have this, I have that, I have fans, I have all this, blah, blah, blah. They boo Roman Reigns, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden says, but you beat me fair and square. And then all of a sudden they're best buddies and they're smiling at each other. And it didn't make any
executed.
sense. It wasn't very executed well at all. Daniel was burying him, then all of a sudden was just like, but you beat me, so you're so good.
Let me lift you back up.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, they definitely should have been able to accomplish a lot more than what they did.
So now we're kind of wishy-washy with Daniel Bryan and his WrestleMania opponent. Just real quick, we'll just even throw out just a slight prediction. Who do you think is going to be Daniel Bryan's opponent at WrestleMania?
I can't even guess.
I think it's definitely going to be Sheamus at this point.
Yeah.
Whether he's heel or not, if he's with the authority, if
that
he's
would
not
be
with the authority.
awful.
I don't know.
I think
I'm
that
not
would be
looking forward
awful.
to if it is, but that's my prediction. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and talk about the return. From out of nowhere, Mr. RKO, Randall Keith Orton.
My thoughts are mixed about this.
I'm a
I
little
did
mixed,
like
though.
the way he came out on FastLane,
great.
but what they did with him on Monday Night Raw
Just completely
was
flipped it. I want to make a note. He started the night cutting a promo on Raw, and he ended the night with him kind of walking out in the authority. So this was pretty much all Randy Orton on Monday night.
But
it was all Randy.
why do that? Why have him join the authority for
and I obviously
3
know,
hours?
Like in the back of my head, I believe that Randy's just going to turn his back on him again. But it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, they convinced him to join authority for 2 weeks maybe?
And why not give him a singles match, his first Monday Night Raw back in a few months?
That's what I'm saying.
Why have him out there with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Seth Rollins?
And
kind of just
and made Seth look bad, and Seth got the loss in the main event of Raw.
Just odd. Why would he come out at FastLane and pretty much just shit on the authority like RKO or J&J?
Taking down the authority.
Taken down, and then the next night...
Like, no, we need you. And then he's okay with it and shakes his hand and like... Didn't make a lot
shakes
of sense.
the hand of the guy who was going to ruin his career.
Like, you just can't, like, assume that, the authority convinced him. Like, it just doesn't...
Yeah, I mean...
It's not going to get really people motivated in that storyline if all of a sudden, Triple H and Stephanie changed his mind.
Give a good excuse for why he did it. Offer him a pay raise, guaranteed Hall of Fame spot, something like that. It's
all right. So next up, let's go ahead and talk about Sting and his performance at FastLane. Obviously, Monday Night Raw, he wasn't there on Raw, so we don't have to talk about that too much. What do you think about the Triple H Sting segment at FastLane?
I think that's the way you book the pay-per-view before their match at WrestleMania.
Right.
That is the way you
agree.
do it. You don't give the fans who have a free month that match on FastLane. And all of it's been great because everybody knows what it's leading up to, and it feels like it's going to be the biggest, best match at WrestleMania.
I personally loved the segment.
It was great
at FastLane. But I think that's because we know the history of Sting and what he has meant. And in my personal opinion, he's the biggest star to never wrestle in WWE. So, and I won't get too much into it because it's almost an excuse. The crowd in Memphis was very much a PG crowd.
They were very silent PG crowd.
They were quiet. They only liked the John Cena. John Cena got a great reaction. You know when John Cena gets a great reaction from a crowd. I'm not going to say they're dumb crowd, but they're so casual. They only know what's on the surface of what it is.
They're not hardcore fans in the WWE universe.
Sting didn't really get a reaction. And that's
which is odd because
right.
even when he wasn't making promos on Raw in some cities, he was still getting, like when we were in Indianapolis, people were chanting, "We want Sting, we want Sting" at the end of Monday Night Raw.
And like I said, there's more to it than just the surface. Triple H versus Sting. This has got years and years and years of story behind it. But let's transition into another kind of legendary match that could happen at WrestleMania. It seems now that it is official. We will see The Undertaker at WrestleMania 31. And his opponent will, in fact, be
Chris Jericho. Oh, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. The build-up for it was cool because you didn't know really what was going to happen. And then when FastLane comes up, Undertaker's song hits. Everybody doesn't know.
Here come the Druids even with the torches.
And nobody knows if it's Bray Wyatt or The Undertaker. And then the casket's rolling down the ring.
That was well executed. Bray calls him out. Even says the name Undertaker, which was just fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to do a separate video just for that match.
So then at FastLane, we saw a tag team championship match between the Usos, Cesaro, and Tyson Kidd. What do you think about that match just real quick?
I think their match at FastLane was really good. Not so sure about the outcome with the tag titles switching hands because I think it might be too soon.
I thought the match was the match of the night at FastLane, even over the main event.
And that was like one of the only matches that Memphis crowd really got behind the entire time.
I think you could have a very long reign with these guys if the tag team division was a little bit deeper. Now, I think then one of the titles definitely twisted up the tag team division, but the rest of the tag team division is sucking right now. It's just doing absolutely awful. The primetime players thing, the Ascension, New Day. New Day didn't appear at FastLane nor Raw.
Yeah.
Like, tag team division, other than the tag title picture, is just looking like straight garbage right now.
Losing Mizdow and Miz and the Dust Brothers really hurt the tag team division. But I think by having this new team win it gives some faith and hope back into the tag team division.
So maybe we can create maybe a new tag team or something like that.
But as of right now, I only see a top 2 tag teams, and everybody else is just under.
I kind of like this Natalya Naomi kind of
I think so too.
X-factor to this feud.
Yeah.
I think if they want to build to a six-person intergender tag match at WrestleMania, it's going to need
2 perfect teams.
It'd be 2 perfect teams, but it needs to be written well, a little bit better. I'm not saying it has to blow me away.
Yeah, their backstage segments have been pretty bad.
They could do that, and they could go with that, and they could even put the tag titles on the line in a 6-person match. I think that would be cool. But they have to write it well to where if the match is going to be good at WrestleMania and it's going to mean something, it's going to get the crowd involved, you may even have to put a stipulation on the match.
All right, so our next segment will be the Divas match that they had at FastLane with Paige and Nikki Bella for the title, which was an okay match. Not the best match they've ever had together, but the more important part was the Monday Night Raw match, which was a squash match.
It literally lasted maybe 10 seconds, maybe?
Yeah, it was tag team Paige and Emma versus the team of the Nikki and Brie Bella. I think it was like 10:25-ish, so we knew it was going to be a short match.
Very short match. Literally seconds.
Paige never got in the match. I don't think Nikki was ever in the match.
Nope.
So I don't really know what angle they were going for there.
They just didn't give him any time at all.
No, it had to be under 15 seconds, the entire match, from bell ring to pin.
You can't blame any of those divas, not one, if they only get a 30-second segment.
You have to blame the booking of that match.
Jesus Christ, the entrances last longer than the match. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is pretty true.
That's embarrassing.
We'll go ahead and go to the IC match, title match that happened at Fastlane, which was Dean Ambrose versus BNB. BNB wins, but then after Dean steals the belt, so
and the way he won, it was stupid. Dean was kept stomping him in the corner.
Yeah, and the ref called it. Instead of having a rematch, you had Bad News versus, was it Dolph?
Yeah, Bad News versus Dolph.
Bad News versus Dolph, and I'm pretty sure Bad News won, but he still didn't have the belt. And they had R-Truth on commentary, and
they're gonna. I think they might get him involved in this. It's just
they're just
they complete in a matter of 48 hours. Yeah. I was so excited for Dean Ambrose to become champion, and now they completely.
Now it's all over.
Lost my interest. Just completely lost it. I don't know. They're gonna have to do something crazy at WrestleMania, maybe a ladder match or something, for me to even get.
That'd be cool.
Halfway motivated and excited for an Intercontinental Championship match.
But we're gonna go from one shitty match to another. Let's go to John Cena Rusev. It was okay. The match was okay. The ending was a little slow and
PG match.
Yeah.
It really was.
Took a few, I think 1 or 2 attitude adjustments, and then got Cena in the accolade. Cena got himself out of the accolade.
So TKO, I guess.
Yeah. Then Rusev put him back into the accolade, and then he passed out or whatever you want to call it, and
so never gave up. Looks like it's gonna be a rematch at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's just you can't. I mean, you can have it end with the accolade, but you can't have John Cena get out of it and then put it back in. It makes the move look weak.
The only thing I'm interested in this feud is whether or not Rusev wins at WrestleMania, because if he does, I think that buries Bray Wyatt from last year's WrestleMania. That's the only thing I'm interested in. That is literally the only thing about this entire feud that I'm interested in. So then we'll talk about Goldust and Stardust.
Ooh, this is a good one.
I was disappointed.
Can't say I was disappointed. I just didn't think they'd go that way. I figured they'd have a tag team match
I just
at Fastlane.
Fan crowd at Memphis and the reaction to the match, they were not into it whatsoever.
That has to be a historic match in a historic setting. And Fastlane being the first year of the pay-per-view, you don't have it.
No, you got it. You if you have that at a WrestleMania with hardcore fans out there, people that watch the show every week and know their history, then you can actually have a match that people are going to get behind. The only good thing I really enjoyed about it was the crowd was chanting Cody.
No, that was awful.
I know, because you don't want Cody. I like that.
I want Stardust.
It's because, and then he reacted to it. That was good, too. He reacted to the chant. So then we'll move on to Miz and Mizdow. They had a pre-show segment on Fastlane with the Miz TV and Paul Heyman, and it was mostly about Paul Heyman, but they had a little bit of interaction. Then the next night on Raw, Damien Mizdow breaks news to The Miz that he got a commercial role. Then Miz breaks the news to Mizdow that he's entering the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So what you're telling me is this month-long team and this whole story about them going to finally break up and they're going to go their separate ways is not going to happen at WrestleMania.
The only way to fix this problem that they've created for themselves is have Mizdow be a surprise entrance in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and then have him throw him over the ropes and he eliminates him.
I want a one-on-one match at WrestleMania on the main card, on the pay-per-view, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. The negative side to all of this, but they're not going to give it the time, and 2, the breakup is just going to be something that happens and they'll never talk about it ever again.
Like Wyatt brothers.
Yes, like the Wyatt thing. It's just going to happen and then it's done. Just
never explain it.
I feel like because of time and then just the effort they want to give these two guys, this is just going to be crap.
Low sodium contains 5% juice.
Juice?
Mom, we need more juice!
We need more juice! Mom, we need more Mountain Dew Kickstart! Mountain Dew Kickstart!
Final rankings of sorts of Fastlane, and then we'll do Monday night, and then we'll do a combined.
Okay, so what do you think of Fastlane? Just that in itself.
Fastlane, I'm going to go 1 up and a down.
I'm going to go up and a half. It was all right. It was. And it did what it was supposed to do, was build up to WrestleMania, but it was just very much a PG show.
Yes.
That's what it felt like.
And then my Monday night is going to be I'm going to go a down and a half.
I'm going to go I'm gonna have to go a down and a half. It really
accomplished some stuff, but not as much as it should, being the Monday night after the pay-per-view that's right before WrestleMania. Now let's rate the storylines of the combined two. I'm gonna go 2 halves.
I'm gonna go an up and a down, which is kind of the same thing.
They've got 4 more Mondays, so hopefully they can accomplish a lot in the next 4 more Mondays to get us more excited for it.
2G, 1B, we run this shit.
Follow us on the tweets. Follow us on the Facebook. Follow us on the Vine.
We're on Roku on
GetScaredTV.
Your neighbor.